Alright, let's get started with our yarn. Yardage, good point. One of those hexagons will take about 6 yards. And to get started, I suggest that you leave a long tail of about 7 to 14 inches. If you're not sure how much that is, it's actually, the loom comes in very handy because the long side is about 7 inches. So what I'm doing is I measure 1, 2, and then make a slip knot. So why 7 to 14 inches? 7 inches will be fine if you just want to weave the ends into the hexagon. 14 inches is the perfect length if you connect multiple hexagons together to make a design. To instead weaving the end and then sew them together, you can combine the steps and sew them together with the ends that already come with the hexagon. Very convenient method. Anyway, let's go back to our slip knot. The slip knot goes on one of the white nails. And just to get started, I recommend that you put the loom in front of you like this, that one white nail is at the top and the other one is at the bottom. And you're looking at it the way you can see it right now in the video. All right, so here's the slip knot. The long tail goes up here. And one thing before I get started, I will show you my favorite method. If you already are familiar with bias or diagonal weaving, you can use any method that you like. Hazel Rose, for example, likes to start with a complete loop. I will show you a different method, but no matter what, you know, the idea is that you weave on the bias. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, stay tuned and I'll show you right now what that means. Can we please zoom in 1 or 2 clicks? Maybe one more? Perfect, thank you. All right. Take your crochet hook to get started. And I will tell you right away, I'm left-handed, but the modifications are very minimal. As long as you follow where the thread needs to go, it doesn't matter if you work with your left hand or your right hand. So take the end of the yarn that comes from the ball and go from the top nail down to the bottom white nail and go around the white nail from the left to the right and go up to the first brown nail on the right of the center white nail and go counterclockwise around that one. Hold the thread in place and now you start weaving. You start with an under, over, and you take through the thread, bring it over the first brown nail to the left of the center. Now you pull the thread and go to the first brown nail at the bottom left. And what you see is that you automatically weave the top and the bottom at the same time. Stay tuned and you will see it a little bit more. Next available brown nail, bottom right, go to the top, next available nail, and under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Pull it through. So you are forming loops. The interesting thing is you only weave up here, and you can see here that it pretty much is already woven here. So when you pull it down, it weaves automatically. That's the beauty of continuous strand weaving. Next available nail on the right, under, over, under, over, under, over, pull through the new loop. For next available on the left, pull it down, next available on the left, down, go around on the right. Now at this point, I want to show you or put your attention to how these threads that you have just woven arch. It is good if they arch a little bit. If you weave on other looms, you're probably familiar with that when you now pack them, that you will get the right tension. If those lines are straight, your weaving is too tight. If the arches are too big, your weaving is too loosely. Let's do one more row, and then I want to show, and then we will start packing the threads. Next one, top left. Next one, bottom left, bottom right, top right, and over. So now we have about 5 rounds woven, and we take the fork and slide up those rows. You see the difference? At the top, I've straightened them out. At the bottom, they are still arched. Let's pack them at the bottom as well. There you go. Let's do a few more rows. Under, over, and so forth, all the way through. Pulling through the thread, next available on the left. Pulling it down and over to the right, go around the next nail at the right to the top and move it over like this. From now on, I suggest that you pack every round, and just one slide will be sufficient. The reason for that is if you are diligent with packing your weaving, you will achieve the most even hexagons. So light tension, pack it up, pack it down. How much tension should you use? There are slight, it depends a little bit on the yarn that you are using. But for one customer project that I made, I wove a hexagon just with one hand. So I pretended that I can only use one hand. And to achieve the right tension, I put a clothespin on the yarn. And the weight of the clothespin was the perfect tension that I needed. So that's about to get an idea of how much you pull. Another thing that I would like to show you at this point is that at some point it will really get quirky. If you, the more warp threads you get, it will get quirky to work just on the inside. Just go anywhere between the nails. Do you see this here? Here's the row of nails. I'm not working over it. I'm working between the nails. And you can go anywhere where you feel comfortable working. You know, it doesn't have to be here. It can be here or very high or very low. That's a personal preference. Just try out different things, and then you will see what works best for you. All right, and this is the last brown nail on the top left, last brown nail on the bottom left, and the last brown nail at the bottom right. When we now go up and over, we see, oh, we're out of brown nails, which means there is a black nail, which tells us, okay, this is the last nail to work with this method. It's a little bit more effort to get around that because it's on the corner, but you do the same thing, go around from the right to the left, and then let's weave under over all the way through to the side, and when we get there, catch the thread, pull it through, and now we have this one goes over the black top nail. And again, this is the last row in this weaving method. We're making the last warp. It's a little bit quirky, or more effort, not quirky. Bottom black nail, and it comes out, let the thread come out here, out of the loom where the black bottom nail is. You see the arches? The last time packing, and we are done with the first part of weaving our hexagon. What that means, what we have gotten so far is we have a little triangle that's filling in this part. We have an equivalent triangle that fills in the bottom part, and everything is filled up with warp threads in the center. And let's take a short break, and we will continue with our weaving efforts after that. Thank you.